Hello everybody, this is Chris and this is my channel, Bar None 11970, and as always, thank you for taking the time to want to listen to what I have to say. And if you're not familiar with this channel, my channel is all about sharing my opinions, sharing my thoughts, giving alternative points of view, alternative perspectives. You can agree, disagree, that's fine. I'm here to try and just share my thoughts, and if they resonate with you, that's a good thing. As usual, I want to wait a second before I start really getting into my talk, so this way people know that I'm doing a live show. Because I did an earlier live show today, and I primarily do that these days. I get better results from these, and I like them. And plus, they upload quickly. So, I already see some people starting to come in, so thank you. I always appreciate those willing to listen to my opinions and what I have to say. I have been listening to the Republican National Convention, not because I really think votes matter. I've talked about this. It's because I want to hear what people are talking about. And the first thing I'm going to say is I can understand why people want Donald Trump as president. I'm not saying I agree with it because, in my opinion, doesn't matter who's president, one person is not going to change a corrupt system. And we're going to find that out. But the one thing well, there's several things. I can understand why people want Trump because he's just different. And sometimes more of the same just doesn't do anything. So the good part is people are at least saying we're tired of the same BS. We're tired of the same lies. We're tired of, remember for years now they've been telling us that the economy is doing well and we're in a recovery. Well, if that's true, why are the Republicans using a slogan of "Make America Great Again" and the people are cheering? Now, I'm not saying I'm all Republican or all Democrat. I know how the system works. Presidents are selected, not elected. There's a whole thing. I won't get into that here. I'm just basing it on what I'm seeing and what I'm formulating my opinion on. You can be different, and that's perfectly fine. But the biggest thing I saw during this convention, I watched a couple of hours of it. I don't have TV to watch on cable. I don't have cable TV, but I was watching it online on some of the live broadcasts. The biggest thing they want to talk about is about how Hillary Clinton has lied. Now, that is definitely true. She has definitely lied in several different places, especially in Benghazi and her computer servers, situations with Libya and China and Syria and Iran and different places like that. But let's keep it in perspective. Pretty much all politicians lie. And the fact that they want to point fingers at one is a little hypocritical. So let's be fair. But here's the biggest test. In a way, I really want to see if Trump becomes president. Just like the experiment with Brexit. Is because then, if a person that supposedly is different enough to basically come out of nowhere and gain such attention because he is now the Republican representative for president, to see if he can actually change anything. Now, one of the biggest platforms, like I said, they were talking about Hillary Clinton being a liar, especially a traitor in a way, by not selling, but allowing potential government secrets to be exposed by using private servers instead of government-issued servers and lying about it. The FBI has already said this to be true, but she's not getting punished. Now, if we did it, we'd be thrown in jail and they'd lock away the key. But apparently, if you're in government, the rules do not apply to you. Now, here's one of the biggest tests. Let's say somehow Donald Trump becomes president. If he either does not address Clinton or if he pardons Clinton, that's going to send you a very clear message of how these politicians all work together. On camera, they're going to tell you all the things that you want to hear. They're going to fight back and forth. But if they use this platform, and they did it for hours, every speaker came up and said, do you want Hillary Clinton, who as our leader, if she lies to you, if she allowed people to die and lie to the families in Benghazi? They were definitely working on your emotions. And I've said that all the time. This is what they do. All politicians are experts on working on your emotions. But if he becomes president and he pardons her, that should send a clear message of how they all work together. Because by the way they were talking today, and I'm only basing it on what I heard, and again, speaker after speaker was referring to her as a liar, a criminal, and she should be thrown in jail. Now, they didn't say the thrown in jail part, but you can hear the crowd chanting it on several occasions. If one of his first things isn't eliminating, well, not eliminating, obviously, eliminating the problem, but definitely seeking criminal charges against her, there's something else going on. And I think we're going to find that out. And that's one of the reasons why. Because if Hillary becomes president, it's going to be the same old, same old. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, in my opinion. At least with Trump, you can say, all right, here's somebody that's untested. Let's see if a person that supposedly says all these different things and definitely knows how to work up a crowd and came out of nowhere and basically won so far. Let's see if he can keep his promises. Let's see if he does what he says, or is it just another politician that tells you everything that you want to hear to get your vote, to get your energy, and then they conveniently do what they want. Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why I'm neither Democrat or Republican, because they both lie. They're both two sides of the same coin. Is not one person today, yeah, they'll talk about the fear, how we need to be safe again. Because again, they work on your emotions. Not once did anybody mention the fact that we borrow money from the Federal Reserve, which is a private-owned bank, and made some kind of cheer and outcry for our own U.S. Treasury and US Mint to make our own money. Not one person talked about that. They don't talk about the important issues. They'll do the things that make you wave your flag. And it's going to be the same for the Democratic convention in another week. They're going to get you to wave your flags, chant by saying the same phrases over and over again, because the theme for the Republican Party is, let's make America great again. So they get you to regurgitate that and focus on that, because it sounds good. It's a good, cheering war cry. And I'm looking at this as an independent person. I vote, well, votes don't count, but I base my opinion not on either the left side or the right side, but the right side or the wrong side. And that's the problem with parties. Because if you're on the Democratic Party, you're going to have to agree pretty much with all the people in the Democratic Party, even if there's issues you don't agree with, and the same goes for the Republicans on their side. That restricts your ability to help all the best possible. In the end, the wealthy are going to stay wealthy. The poor are going to stay poor. There's going to be fear. There'll be change, but does that mean change in your pocket? Or does that mean change as in better change for us all, not for the few? So I don't trust any government official further than I can throw them. And I've learned, and hopefully people have learned this, that they speak one way and do plenty of others. So again, I'm just basing it on what they said. If you watched the GOP convention today, or yesterday, whatever, but especially today, literally almost every person was talking, basically, we need to throw Hillary Clinton in jail for what she's done, without actually saying that. So my thing is, if Donald Trump somehow miraculously got in and became president, will he do anything about it? Because there's a difference between speaking and doing. Now, I already don't like Clinton. I don't know what Trump is all about, but I would like to see him given the opportunity so we can at least find out. Because if he's going in making all these promises, if he's going in saying all these different things, if he's going in making all these promises and it still can't change them, then this should pretty much put the nail in the coffin that our elected officials are not there to help us. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we have to be realistic here. Yes, you can be patriotic if you want. You could wave the flags. They're going to talk about the fallen people. I mean, they talked about, what happened in Orlando. Plenty of people don't agree with it being the way that the media portrayed it. But you'll never hear a politician question it. And that's on both sides. So the time for division has got to be over. This is why they don't want you to talk about religion and politics in conversation. Because they might think that people might actually agree with the fact that we shouldn't be Democrats or Republicans. We should be a little bit of both and a little bit of neither. And be able to think of all options, not just limit yourself to one option. It's just another form of divide and conquer. Please show me. I bet anybody that's gone to the Republican convention or will go to the Democratic convention, all the speakers, guarantee you they get paid lots of money and have lots of money. How can they really say they understand us? As they like to put it, common people. Does it feel good to know that they see you as the regular people, the common people, the ordinary people, and then tell you how special you are? And we'll throw up those balloons, we'll wave the flags, we'll hold up the signs, we'll regurgitate the same lines that they say. Obama wanted change. He sure left a lot of that in our pockets. And he definitely didn't say what type of change. So they will keep their promises to a certain extent. But because they don't specifically say what that promise is, you make an assumption. You know what happens when you assume. So my opinion is, coming from a neutral frame of mind, and I am going to watch the Democratic one as well, you're going to hear the same thing from either side. They're going to talk BS about each other. They're going to do all the negative stuff. They're going to say all the things you want to hear. They're going to cheer. They're going to sing songs. They're going to say their nice little phrases. And in the end, are we going to be better off? That is the real concern I have. Not one candidate is talking about the fact that our own country could make its own money. I mean, JFK wanted to do it, and look what happened to him. They don't even discuss it. They didn't talk about the fact that we borrow money from a foreign bank, and they only produce the principal amount, so we will forever be in debt. Donald Trump is a businessman. I'm sure he's a very smart businessman. I'm sure he knows a lot of things about business, especially from the inside. Where's that information? We see Clinton, who had a husband that was president for 2 terms. She's been a senator. She's been around the block. She's been caught lying. She's not getting punished for it. These are the people we want to control our future, our children's future. Because again, consent of the governed will make, Republican people will make fun of the Democrats, and the Democrats will make fun of the Republicans, instead of realizing we're all not only Americans, we're also all humans. We seem to forget that, but they love to divide and conquer, because if they can get your attention and just focus in one area, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, you will continually be scared by the monster or persuaded by its call. And as usual, the majority of people don't want to hear, because, I'm not a politician. I'm not a Harvard graduate. I'm not walking around in suits and ties, but I definitely don't have a script. I definitely am not biased to one side or the other. I definitely don't want to just say what you want to hear. That's where integrity comes from. Don't you wish your all politicians would stop reading cue cards and just speak from the heart? That's another thing I saw today, and I'm sure I'll see it on the Democratic side too. Somebody writing scripts and reading off of cue cards and doing several different locations where those cue card, monitors are. So it gives the illusion that they're looking around the auditorium like they're looking at you. Oh my goodness, they're looking my direction. No, they're not. It's one of the many monitors that they're reading from. So they're not talking from the heart. None of them ever are. They're just regurgitating what somebody else wrote for them. And we keep allowing these people to basically destroy our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. There's not many people have the greatest lives anymore. There's definitely plenty that are, but the majority of people, when they're suffering and they're complaining and they're sick and they're depressed and they're on medications or on welfare programs, actions speak louder than words. How many promises will either side keep? And like I said, if you watched any of the convention today, you will see that they were bashing Hillary Clinton, basically to the point where they were, without saying it, calling her a criminal. So once he becomes president, if he becomes president, will he reopen the case? Will he end up throwing her in jail or making her have a trial or be responsible for the things they were committing, talking about? Or will they just ignore it or give her a presidential pardon by saying, oh, well, it's time for healing. It's time we work together. So then if that's the case, then they should have said that beforehand. But they never do that because that's not what you want to hear if you're on the Republican side. And again, I'm on no side. I'm on the earth side. What's beneficial for us all to the best of the ability. Now, obviously, you can please some of the people some of the time, all the time, and all the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. That's obvious. But for one side to accuse the other side of lying in politics is just extremely hypocritical, especially, which I found funny, and this is when I just decided, all right, it's time to make this video, is when they had Governor Christie from New Jersey speak about Hillary Clinton's honor and integrity. He's really one of the last people to talk about that, honor and integrity. But then again, how many politicians are going to really tell you what they are going to do? Where's the full disclosure? Where is the connecting with the people? They'll tell you that. There's a huge difference between saying and doing. I could say I'm going to win the lottery, but it means nothing until I do. These are the things we need to keep in mind. You shouldn't be a Republican or a Democrat. You should be neither, so you could listen to all sides, so you can not sit there with the blinders on saying, oh, I can only listen to what my party says, and whatever they say is completely right. Because neither side is going to be 100% right, and neither side is going to be 100% wrong. And until we can figure that out, the divide and conquer is going to make us fight amongst ourselves, and we have just another thing that we could divide ourselves with. We don't have enough with race and religion and sexual preference, politics. You could have sports divide so many thousands of things. When do we get past that? It's a good question. I would love to hear politicians say. But just once, I would love to see one of these politicians stop reading from a cue card and just say what's on their mind. What are they so afraid of? You notice every single video I do, I don't read off a card. I don't have a script. I just speak. And there are people that respect me for that. I will never be one of those bigger channels that does those big productions and has people reading off of cue cards and everything. To me, that's not genuine. It's not my reality anyway. But I really think this convention is given the same old, where they're going to make you wave your flags. They're going to tell you everything that you want to hear on both sides. And then whoever gets in charge, all the things that they promised, all of a sudden, they're going to look into, they're going to research, they're going to get committees, they have other things they have to talk about or start to fix. We got to get the priorities straight. And then eventually you'll see nothing has changed, for the better anyway. And we'll see. So that's my opinion. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Let's hear your thoughts and leave your messages in the comment section. Thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on what mood you're in. If you're in a good mood, thumbs up are always great. If you're in a pissed off mood, thumbs down will definitely reflect that. And if you are not part of the Bar None Nation, I would love you to be. So hit that subscribe button and be a part of this channel, where I might not say everything right. I may not say everything that you love, but at least you know I say it from the heart. And that should mean something in this day and age. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your night, and be careful. Peace out.